Hi, this is Miss Kagome, and I'm here to tell you how to keep a healthy, clean, and happy kitty. Okay, the first thing you want to always remember when trying to keep your kitty down there very happy is hygiene. You do not know how many stories I have heard from guys talking about meeting girls and liking them and finally getting to the next level and having the whole mood ruined by. Could you imagine like somebody telling their best friend that they went to like go down on you and you smell like fish? That'll be horrible. But I have had guys tell me that I smell like nothing at all, which is awesome. So, but I do know that each person is different, and depending on what you eat and the way you take care of yourself, you have different odors. Well, not really odors, but just smell a little different. It's not exactly a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. It can be a bad thing if you stink to high heaven. But if it's just a normal kitty odor, then it's perfectly fine and normal. Everyone has their own scent. I'll say it like that, own scent. So let's start with hygiene. You're going to want to wash, and I've heard a lot of women say that they only use water to wash down there. No. Think about this. You have an armpit. You wash your armpit with soap, right? Yeah. In the summertime, if you don't wash your armpit with soap, it sweats and it stinks. I'm not saying take a bar of soap and go down there and wash your kitty cat, but you have to wash with something. And it does not have to be like all expensive. I use a feminine wash that is like $2, and you don't wash really in there. You wash like the outside and lips and all that stuff. You don't like dig all up in there with the washcloth and stuff and like get it all soapy inside. But you're gonna want to wash with something because it's gonna be funky and sweaty down there, especially in the summertime. So you're not gonna want to be like all ready and hot and bothered, and the guy comes in and take off your drawers like he's running in the other direction. No, you don't want that. So always have some type of feminine wash. And this is hypoallergenic. It's clear, it has no dyes, nothing. It's totally clear. When I open it up, you can see the soap right there. It's clear. Ooh, it's dripping on me. Another thing about hygiene is keeping the area free of hair. I know a lot of people, they don't like to remove the hair from that area, but it makes it a lot easier to keep odor out, and and it looks a lot nicer when you're wearing a baby suit. I'm going to tell you the story really fast. I was at a friend's house. Her mom came out. It was just us girls. Her mom came out wearing her underpants, her drawers, her panties, or whatever you like to call them. She came out, and all I could see was bush right in my face. Just bush. I mean, everywhere. It looked like the rainforest down there. You don't want that to happen to you. You do not want that. So a lot of women, they opt to keep that stuff gone. Not necessarily like baby smooth. I like my baby smooth, but everybody does not like that. Some women wax, some shave, some do trimmers and stuff like that. I'll show you what I use. Shaving really hurts down there, so I do not shave. I don't put a razor anywhere near my kitty. I have been using trimmers for years and years and years and years to trim up down there. You can shave your bikini area, you can shave everything down there. Now, when you get further back, it's a little bit more tricky, so you're going to want to hold your skin nice and tight, or it's going to like nick, and you're like, don't feel like you're getting like little electric shocks from your kitty, so you're going to want to like try to get it nice and tight before you try to shave back there. That's one thing I do. Okay, you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this. But this is something else that I've done a bunch of times when I was lazy and I didn't feel like trimming everything. Okay, so I use Veet. This is not the Bikini Zoom Veet. It says Veet Fast Acting Gel Cream Hair Remover Legs and Body. Sensitive formula with aloe vera. It says restores skin hydration. And it's a pump, so it like lasts a while. I don't use this on my legs because it just does not work on my legs and it burns for some reason. I don't know. But I can put this. You have to make sure when you do this, it's very important, you don't get any inside of there. I have never had that issue. I always take something, like maybe a washcloth, and just stuff it kind of, you know, in the crease or whatever, because I'm trying to be protected. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm trying to be protected. So I put that there. I put some type of barrier there is what I'm saying. And then I can rub the Veet all over. Keep it no longer than 3 minutes and immediately wipe it off. Wash it with the with warm water. And then I jump in the shower to take my shower. Oh. And it leaves it like smooth and soft, and if there are any stray hairs, then you can come in with the trimmers and do that. But this is like the fastest, simplest, I'm in a hurry type thing. It feels kind of crazy because you're standing there with like your legs like like spread, and you just standing there with cream on your kitty. But it's really fast, and I have really, really sensitive skin, so if I can do this, a lot of you can. I'm not saying you should just go slap some Nair on you. Don't. Whatever you do, do not use Nair. That's like the strongest stuff on earth that does not work. So I always use Veet. And when I do that, anything I do, when I trim or use chemical or anything, whenever I'm done with everything, I always put oil on myself. Vitamin E oil. I don't put it inside. I just put it all around the skin that I just removed the hair from. And when you get out the shower, make sure you dry yourself well down there. Make sure you rinse all the soaps or whatever you may use down there. Rinse it all away. You don't want to get all irritated and stuff like that. So, oh, I know we can talk about SEX. Not that we haven't already been kind of talking about that, but that can really throw your pH balance off. I know. It can really throw it off. And you might get a little funky if you're laying in bed, getting like pounded over and over and getting semen shot up you all day, okay? Just say it. Just put it out there. You're going to get kind of funky, okay? So there are a few options. If you're not trying to get knocked up and like have babies or whatnot, I would say you need, if you're with a partner that you trust, you should always be with one partner that you trust and you know is not with anybody else. So stay safe, first of all. Use condoms. Use condoms, especially if you're not sure of the person you're with. If you're not sure, then you just need to leave them alone altogether. Use condoms, that way there'll be nothing left inside of there. Nothing. They'll take it all back with them. You could also have them pull out. That is a big thing. You pull out. That will help too. Or if you're really just into the Peter spray, water gun, or what have you, get up immediately and wash. Don't lay there marinating in your juices. Oh baby, maybe I just want to lay here with you all night and cuddle and get all crusty in my juices. Don't do that. Don't do that. I need you to get up and wash immediately. Dry, rinse everything and dry, because you're not going to be able to get it all out of there. So, get off what you can and see what happens in the morning. That's all I can tell you. Okay. As far as yeast infections, they can be really stinky and they can cause lots of problems if not taken care of. Now, if you have a really bad infection, I advise you go to the doctor. But there are ways you can handle a yeast infection at home, especially if it's at the beginning stages. Now, I have tried lots and lots of different things. I have experimented with vinegar, spraying vinegar, burns, burns. But it takes away to get you. But it still burns. You better be ready for the burn. You spray that vinegar up there, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn your kidney. Okay, it's gonna turn red. So I really wouldn't advise that unless you're just like, you just really need something. Okay, another thing I read about was garlic. I'm gonna tell you about my experience with garlic. I cut the garlic. I put a hole in the garlic. I put a string in the hole and tied it around and everything. Put the cloves and I shoved the cloves up there just like it said in the directions. Everywhere I went, like when I walked around the house or whatever, or whenever I sat beside somebody, they're like, somebody baking bread? I smelled like I was baking bread, and it made me feel really sick too. So I had to like immediately get that out of me. But the one thing that I like the most, I adore, it absolutely always works. I do it whenever, like if I do have sex, I do this after. I use yogurt. I swear by this stuff. I use Dannon yogurt, plain yogurt, and like I try to get the least amount of sugar as I can. I think the lowest I found is 16 grams, but you might be able to find some with 0 grams of sugar. Don't get any fruit. You cannot use that. I actually been thinking about, because I always have like this big tub of yogurt, because they don't put them in like the little things. So I always got this big tub of yogurt, and I was thinking about ways to save it because it goes bad, you know. And I was thinking maybe I should like dump it in the popsicle trays and freeze it, and then when I need it, like thaw it out. But this is how I use it. When you got this big jug of it, or container, you want to take a spoon and take some out and put it in a little dish. You don't want to use directly from the container because you're going to be like cross-contaminating and putting like all kinds of different bacteria inside of there, and it's going to go bad, okay? So you put a little bit in there, and you can use your fingers, or if it's like really bad, you can use one of those the syringes that you get from the drugstore, like when you're giving the baby's medicine. It's a syringe. You can suck it all up in there, go in the bathroom, stick it up there, and squeeze it up, and do that at night. Put on a panty liner and let it do its thing. In the morning, wash off. If you don't have to go anywhere the next day, do it again, put on a panty liner, and, let that stuff marinate. It will clear it up. I promise it will clear it up. If you have like a full-blown yeast infection, it will clear it up in like 3 days max. If you're in the beginning stages, if you do it that night, it will be gone the next morning. I guarantee. If that does not work for you, I don't know, like, you just really need to go to the doctor because there's something wrong with your kitty, okay? Okay, quick tip about drawers. I know. Your mama always said wear drawers. Take an extra pair of drawers with you. Make sure you have clean drawers. Just have drawers. But guess what? You don't need drawers all the time. There are places that you have to have drawers. Like, I wouldn't go on like public transportation without drawers. I wouldn't go to the doctor without drawers. I wouldn't go to church without drawers. No, you can't be in church without drawers. But when you're at home, in the privacy of your own home, you do not need to wear drawers, okay? You do not need to wear drawers to bed. You don't need to wear drawers to your mama's house. Let me tell you something. I went to go get my son off the bus one day, and I was like wearing this nice little dress. And one of my parents came up to me, and she was like, "Are you wearing drawers?" And I was like, "No." Apparently my booty was like jiggling all over the place. Yeah, drawers do that. They keep it tame, I guess. But yeah, I got some booty back there. Squats. But if you are going to wear drawers all the freaking time, make sure they have cotton. Make sure they have at least some cotton in the cheek area down there. You do not want to be wearing like full silk underwear with no cotton insert, because they're like freaking trap heat, and you're never going to be able to like get rid of the smell. If you want to be funky, wear drawers, fan. My boyfriend likes, I don't wear them. I don't wear them to the grocery store. I don't be wearing them. I mean, you don't even sit down at the grocery store, so I'll be just like, what's the word? endo. In the grocery store shopping like boom, 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 boom. That's the sound of my food like that. Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes I walk by the meat section, I look in the mirror and be like, boom, 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 boom. Come on, boom, 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 boom. Be like that, boom. Shake. It's crazy. It makes me kind of self-conscious sometimes. So try to leave the meat section alone because I'm still not going to wear the So I'm thinking, oh. And there's something really important. Besides having an odorless kitty or your own personal scent, besides that, you want to have a tight kitty, okay? You want to have it tight. You don't want your guy like talking about how it was like, oh, you couldn't feel nothing, and the wall was like a Grand Canyon, and you went and you fell inside of it, and he was swimming in it, and then he got lost in the dark and was trying to find his way out, stuff like that. You don't want to hear nothing about that, okay? So, I know all of you know about this. It's called Kegels. And you're going to want to do this daily. And you don't have to do it, like, for long periods of time. You know what? I'm doing it now. Can't tell, can you? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to want to squeeze your pelvic muscles. Squeeze and hold and then release. And if you can't, it takes some practice if you've never done it before. You could try maybe putting something there to try to squeeze, maybe like stick your finger in there if you want, and like try to squeeze it together, like just so you can have an idea of where you need to be squeezing. Like you could put something, squeeze. No, my finger's not up there. It's over here. Finger's over here. It's not up there, okay? But I'm just saying, you do that. Oh, and let me tell you something. My guy absolutely loves when I post that, like when we're getting it on, you know what I'm saying? And like make it post like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I ain't telling too much of my business. But I'm just telling you, if you do that, he's gonna like freaking love you. He's gonna pop down like, oh man, you have a baby. You're gonna wait and everything, you're gonna get old and gray and sit on the porch and rock and chair together forever. So, you try that. I think that is about it. That's all I got for you. Just like keep her clean, keep her trim, keep some yoga nearby, keep that stuff out of there. Like, oh, don't put random food down there. Don't do that unless you want to be like growing mold and all kind of stuff or whatever. Just don't do it. Don't be like, oh yeah, put this chocolate syrup all over my body. Don't make me look it up. No. Syrup has sugar. Sugar makes a bad thing. It feeds yeast and helps it grow. And then you probably have like bushy fungus or something. Like that time I left the pizza in the microwave. It's like a pizza in the microwave. Totally forgot about it. Left it in there for like 4 days, and I came back and I didn't even know it was pizza. It was just like a big bush of green something that scared me. You don't want your kitty looking like that.